Spy tools are now a thing of the past because even within Facebook itself, you can already start spying on any active advertisements that pages are running. And this has been the case since 2018, where Facebook, in an act of trying to be more transparent and of course to adjust with their Privacy Act, they start to allow anyone with a curious mind, and provided you know where to look at, to start viewing active advertisements that are being run by that page. So at this point, I've just opened up two particular examples, and I want to show you how you can spy on any Facebook pages that might or might not be running any advertisements. So for the purpose of this particular example, I'm going to show you Gary Vaynerchuk's FB page. And yes, he's the one of the top social media advocates and moguls. And in every Facebook page that you check out, right, you can always go to this part called the page transparency. And by the way, you can also view this in mobile. All right, you want to check out the page transparency, click on see more. And again, I'm not saying that what I'm teaching you is a very rocket science kind of thing. If you know where to look for this kind of information, it's pretty much right there, okay? And what we're seeing here right now is that you want to pay attention to this at the bottom, ads from this page. And ironically, this page is not currently running any advertisements. So with that said, when you see Facebook pages that are not running any active advertisements at all, this is what's going to show. It's not running any active ads, okay? So let's go check out another example. This is by renowned internet entrepreneur Frank Kern, and let's take a look at page transparency again. And you can see that this page is currently running ads. So if you want to take a look at what kind of advertisements that this page is running at the present time, we'll click on go to ad library, and we'll take a look at the advertisements that are being run by the page. But normally the filter would be by your country. So here's the thing, like for example, I'm viewing this from Malaysia right now, and he's not running any active advertisements here. So what you want to do is you want to click on perhaps filter by all countries, so we can take a look at the advertisements that he is running or this page is running, okay? Or you can even filter by specific countries like United States, and let's have a look. So we know that these are the advertisements that are running to the United States in particular, okay? And again, if you want to go filter, you can check out all. So once again, what I'm sharing with you here, to be very frank, it's not rocket science. Again, if you know where to look at, this is pretty much the place where you can see the advertisements that are being run by a page. And this is useful in a sense that if you are going to be an agency and you're planning to run advertisements for your clients, you can spy on their competitors to see whether they are running any advertisements, or if they are running any, at least get to sort of measure out what kind of competition you're up against. Now, this does not mean that it's a license for you to copy what other people are doing, and at the same time, just know that your competitors or any other Facebook marketer that know what they're doing, they can pretty much spy on your advertisements just as well. But again, this should not concern you or worry you, because in the grand scheme of things, who you really want to impress or who you really want to get are your target customers or your target clients. And most of the time, given the niche, they're not going to be aware of what I'm sharing you, despite the obvious, unless you're obviously marketing to an internet marketing savvy crowd. Then that would be a different story altogether. However, that shouldn't be of concern. Now, what's the use of spying on Facebook ads that are being run by pages like this? I just want to say that it's a good fact finding. It's good for you to model after what is working, or what is not working, and avoid them. And at least you have a good idea what kind of competition you are up against. All right. So as you can see, it's a very simple tool, and you don't have to buy any third-party tools like the old days anymore. It's pretty much right here. In fact, you can just go to facebook.com/ads/library, and you can pretty much check out any other Facebook page. Let's just say, for the fun of it, let's go to Star Wars. Okay, you have this, the official Star Wars, and let's see if they're running any advertisements, and yes, they do. Okay, so you can see what kind of advertisements they're running, and if you take a look, you can see what platforms they're running on as well. Like this is on Instagram exclusively, this is on Facebook exclusively, and there we go.
What's up everyone, Admin here, and we're coming to the final parts of the training already. Now, before we get started, I want to make sure that you have already followed through on all the past weeks trading in Facebook advertising, and more importantly, that you have already taken action. And how do we know that? Is that you have already started running ads on your own. So the purpose of this whole module is to show you how Facebook advertising can be optimized and can be tweaked along the way. So in this video, we're going to talk about removing the losing ads and keeping the winners, and how to split tasks or how to tweak your advertising further. So right off the bat, I'm going to show you an example of one of our clients. And this is a rather unique client because we had picked up an aesthetic clinic and we're running a lead generation campaign for them. So whether you're selling your own digital product or you're selling your own e-commerce product, or even run a lead generation campaign to a service, whether it's your own or other people's, that's okay. It's pretty much the same mindset and mentality. And I think this just goes to show how versatile Facebook advertising can be. Now, what you're seeing here right now is a lead generation campaign for the aesthetic clinic, and this is one of the ad sets. And you'll see here, this is ran for pretty much a half of the month actually. And we started off originally with a video campaign. So that means there were no other image ads, it was just a video. This was running initially because we were having problems with the client providing images for us to use. So we just ran our own version of the video. And this was getting okay, it was getting about 3 leads for its duration. And it was getting about $10 per lead. Now this could have been better, even though it's still profitable, because this aesthetic clinic is clearly selling a high ticket service where their clients would eventually enroll into a yearly package or a semi-annual package. That's okay. We know that they're going to make money, but of course we were not satisfied with the results. We wanted it to be better. And then we started to introduce 2 more image ads. Now take note that this was going to a Chinese speaking market, but the mindset remains the same. The way you write the ads, whether it's in English or another language, is still pretty much the same. So we added 2 more image ads in a while, probably a couple of days later, and then we have all 3 ads running. So there's 2 image ad and 1 video ad. And we notice that we can see the stats here that this Chinese image ad number 1 was generating 6 leads, and the cost for acquiring the lead was a lot cheaper. It's like 1/3 the cost, $3.41. Wow. Okay, and then if you notice this other Chinese ad in image form here, now this didn't generate any lead at all. All right, now you might notice that even if you run it for a good 4 to 7 days, normally that's what I like to do, you want to run it for 4 to 7 days. Some people have this habit of quickly making a decision after 24 hours or 48 hours. Now that's just rubbish. All right, when you do Facebook advertising, it should be a long-term game. And if you want to clearly see the winning ads and the losing ads, you should give it at least 4 to 7 days. Now 4 being the fastest, 7 being the most ideal. You don't want to be changing up ads or making a decision so quick in the next 24 or 48 hours, because you need Facebook to give it some time to rotate the ads and test out which one works. So how do you know which one's the winning ad and losing ad? Now there's no clear-cut way, but there's a few indications I look at strongly. Number 1, when this was running for almost a week, we noticed that even though there were only 3 ads to rotate, the most of the spending went into the first image and still in the Chinese video, but by virtue of the fact that this has been running much earlier, so that's why the ad spend was higher. All right, but you notice Chinese image 2 was spending only $2.96. All right, now this is Facebook's way of telling you that it has a preference of running the other 2 ads. So when you see that the ad spend is a lot less for a couple of ads and it seems to heavily prioritize the other, it's kind of Facebook's way of telling you that these ads are more preferred than the other one. So that's one very strong indication already. So actually based on this alone, I would have turned this off already. All right, so that's one really good indication. Another one, if you want to take a look at, I like to look at cost per 1,000 impressions. Now ideally I like to keep it $10 or below. Sometimes in some market it can get a little bit higher than that, but that's okay. I try to keep this below $10 per CPM, or cost per 1,000 impressions. So you can see here, all of this are doing pretty good. They're all below $10. All right. Click-through rate, I try to keep it 1% and above ideally, but so I think this is slightly okay. I'll still keep it that way. And if you notice, image ad one and video ad one, they were getting more clicks. Now, if you see why the video has more clicks, because like I said, this ran earlier, but if they ran about the same time, then I think it would be pretty much a draw. Okay. Now, if you notice that there are less clicks for image two, so again, another reason why I turned this off. And you can see that most importantly, these two ads were generating leads. Now, the video one was costing more than usual, and this was wanted, but I still kept both running because sometimes it's more like a reminder behavior that some people like to click on video ads and watch. Some people like to just see the image and just get straight to the point. Surprisingly, for a lot of my campaigns, my image ads convert the best, but I will not discount video because videos for a couple of my campaigns, they were doing very great. So ideally, you want to have both image and video. You don't just want to depend on one. All right. So this is one of the just some of the ways you can actually test out and see which was the losing ad, and then you turn it off. Okay, I don't recommend deleting it because I like you to have a record of what was going on. So don't delete this kind of ads, just turn it off. All right. And then when you have these two ads left, if you want to continue split testing, which I recommend you to do until you're happy with the results, then you can start adding in more images or more ads for you to test out. However, I will not recommend that you test more than 5 in a row, because even if you have a large ad spend, Facebook is going to struggle to rotate the ads because there's just too many ads to choose from. And if you're playing on a small budget, then the problem will be even more apparent. So normally I would keep it about 3 to 5 ads to split test at any given time. Just like this one, it was 3 ads. Okay, so maybe I'll just show you another example. Let's take a look at the English ad, which is pretty much the same thing. This is targeting the English speaking market. So you can pretty much see that they are the same ads, just that it's written in English this time. Okay, and again, if you notice, now although this campaign had ended, because this was running for only 2 weeks for the client, if you notice that this was running at pretty much about the same time, and a lot of the ad spend was going towards the video version. All right. And if you look at the leads form here, if I were going to turn off any of this, I'd probably turn off this particular one here, image one, because this get only 2 leads, and those get a little bit more as well. But I like this image 2 over here in this case, because this is generating 4 leads and at a cost of only what, $2.24. This is pretty good. All right. But of course, like I said, you want to look at a few factors before you decide which one you want to turn off. There's no hard and fast rule. Ultimately, you should keep the profitable ad and the one that's getting you results. Sometimes the cost per lead can be slightly higher than usual, but if it's getting you results and you have a way of covering and profiting that through your funnels, then more power to you. All right. But between these 3 ads here, I'd say the image 2 is the winner. If I were to turn off any of the ads here, probably the image 1, since very little ad spend is going here. Or rather, this is actually still okay. All right. Probably add in another video in this case. Okay, so that's really all there is to it. I'll be putting up a PDF version of this whole split testing and optimizing so that you have a clearer picture. And all the best in your Facebook marketing success.